Being a part-time author with a full-time job in the middle of winter where we were reaching sub-zero temperatures just outside of Minneapolis with chaos happening outside. Somehow, I still got my words done. How? I don't know. Let's figure it out together. So before I get started, being that I'm just outside of Minneapolis, I want to make it abundantly clear what has been happening since, well, December really, but it didn't hit the mainstream until January when obviously things escalated to the point of people being murdered in our streets. I do not stand, obviously, with this administration. In order to continue on, anybody who makes content on the internet needs to say something at this point. What has been happening in my community has been atrocious and awful. And for those of you who have supported Minneapolis through all of this, thank you, because my community desperately needs help. So if you are able, I have a link below where you can learn more about what's actually going on and how to help the people of Minneapolis. So let's talk about January, I guess. Everything going on here has been really, really hard. Watching my community be attacked, but also fight back has been one of the proudest moments of my life, to see how much my community has fought to honor those that were literally murdered on our streets, to protect the people of color that are being profiled and taken away, children used as bait. This has been really, really a hard month. It almost feels disingenuous to have this conversation at all, because I should be out there with my community instead of right here, but I am actually gonna go out and be with my community after I'm done filming. I am gonna go out and do some good in the world. So let's go ahead and get started so I can get out there and do some good. So in week one, I wrote 8,992 words. I was actually feeling really good about where I was at. I hadn't taken a day off. I did have one day that was pretty low on words, but I didn't take a single day off, which I was like, this is starting out really great. Given that my goal this year specifically is just to write 500,000 words over the course of the year, I wasn't super focused on my daily word count as much as I was just focused on the average word count that I'm still striving to get to. Because obviously with January being a rough month because of seasonal depression and everything else happening outside right now, it ended up being a month where I needed to take care of myself and my community more than I needed to take care of my characters in my book. So anyway, but yeah, I started out the month really strong with nearly 9,000 words. So week two was my strongest week of the month by far. I wrote 10,889 words. And again, I didn't take a single day off. I was actually getting some word counts above 2,000 a day, which was absolutely amazing. I think I was more or less pouring all of my energy, all of my leftover energy into my writing at this point, just because I was trying so hard to dissociate from everything, because sometimes dissociation is just the way that you kind of have to go. I found myself doom scrolling a lot, and I just needed to put my phone away and put the news away, and I needed to recenter my brain and myself. And I know that that comes with a lot of privilege to be able to put that stuff away. I understand that, but it is also a form of self-care to allow yourself to disconnect and recluse. Essentially, I reclused. And I decided I needed to just focus on the one thing that really kept me going at that point. So call that what it is. Like I said, I fully understand that it's privilege to be able to do that. I fully accept that and understand that and agree. But it was my form of self-care, and I knew that it was something that I needed to do for myself, and it was something that I needed to do so that when it did come time for me to join the fight, I was rejuvenated and was able to join the fight effectively. That's how week two went. So week three, I wrote 9,799 words, but I also took a day off during that week. I needed it. I needed a day that I stopped pouring all of my energy into that, and I needed to focus on other things creative. It was really time for me to stop dissociating in such a way that I could really start focusing on how I can help better, how I can help my community, how I can help other communities, and how I can join in on all of this. I have been doing just that. I've been trying really hard to find ways to be an effective member of my community. You're gonna notice I'm gonna talk about this pretty much the entire video, because it has become such, if you've been paying attention to what's been going on here, you know just how in your face all of this is. Imagine what it's like to actually live here. And I can't even imagine what it's like to be a person of color here right now, because that's what they're out there looking for right now. And It's terrifying and it's awful. This was also where I really started to hit a serious wall when it came to my own mental health. When I reconnected into the world and allowed myself to no longer be dissociating and stopped using writing as a way to escape, all of those emotions started coming to the forefront, and just how scary all of this is and how awful all of this is and how there are still people out there defending what is happening right now. Yeah, it's a lot. And I'm not gonna be somebody who stays silent. I'm not gonna be somebody who is going to just pretend like everything's okay. So anyway, moving on. So week 4 through the end of the month, I wrote 7,631 words. By far the most amount of days in that calculation, but the least amount of words written. That's because I took 3 days off because I needed to find that balance that I'm hoping to find this year. Of course, this year ended up having to start out in one of the worst possible ways that the year could start in my community. So throughout the course of January, I wrote 37,311 words. My lowest word count day was the final day of the month, January 31st, at 524 words. And my highest word count day was January 19th, definitely a big dissociation day for me. And on that day, I wrote 3,760 words. So January also happens to be the anniversary of my grandfather's death. He's been gone now for 19 years, but it still hurts. It still affects me because grief is never something you actually get over. Grief is something you live with every day. And a lot of new memories have formed around my life without him. But at the end of the day, there are days and moments in my life that remind me of him or make me realize he's not here. And being that I was very emotional a month, I really made that one hard this year. So that was a big dissociation day for me. I just needed to shut my brain off and try really hard to just focus on the writing. It's been a really hard month for a lot of reasons. January in Minnesota is never a fun time because this is our coldest month of the year on average usually. So we're usually trapped inside for most of it. And to add on top of that, this administration literally punishing us for not voting for the person they wanted us to vote for. It's horrifying. The fact that we're being punished because we didn't vote that way and because our governor ran for vice president. Like, honestly, anyone that still supports this administration, I don't want your business. I do not want your subscription. I do not want anything to do with any of you at all, ever. January was a really hard month. So my tip this month for trying to get your writing done is to really focus on your self-care. I think that even though I'm going to be focused on trying to write every single day this month, February, I really think it's important for all of us to also know when it's time to take that break, when it's time to step away. So in the comments, I want you to let me know with your writing what day you're planning on taking just a day off and doing some serious self-care, and let me know what that self-care is in the comments, because I think it's so crucial to remember to take care of yourself. And I know I probably made this a tip some other month previously, but I don't care. It's such an important thing to be reminded of every once in a while. We need to remember to take care of ourselves and each other. That's what I'm going to go do today, is I'm going to take care of others, because right now, even though I just nearly cried during this video, I'm actually doing a bit better mentally. So I'm going to go help take care of my community, and I want all of you to take care of yourselves and your own communities as well. And again, links below to help the people of Minnesota, Minneapolis specifically, help the people of Palestine. And yeah, that's honestly all I've got for you right now. That's all I got for you today. It's scary out there. This needs to come to an end. So get out there and vote this November, and let's end it. I know we're not voting for president this election. However, we can vote and get a blue wave through the Senate and the House in this midterm election, and hopefully the Democrats will actually do something.